as famous as the roles you've done are these supposed roles that you passed on. Hugh Jackman has been very kind in saying he kind of owes you a career because you passed on Wolverine, correct?
Yeah, but I also suggested him for it too, you know, because look, they show me art and stuff like that, and I was like, it doesn't look like me, you know, it doesn't look like me. But I tell you who it looks like is it looks like Hugh Jackman, you know. And I did the same with Baz Luhrmann. You know, they were doing sort of like pictures and stuff for Australia, and I'm like, okay, but you're drawing, you know, these drawings don't make me think of me, you know, that looks like Hugh Jackman, you know. So yeah, I've always been able to say no though, you know, even when I was a young fella, if there was something that was offered that, you know, I didn't think was going to be of significance to me in terms of what I, you know, what I would be able to give to it, then I would just say no. And I think that's why I still love my job, Josh. You know, I'm know a bunch of people my age in my job, and they're kind of a little bit bitter and twisted about things and stuff like that. You know,
bitter people in Hollywood. What are you talking about, Russell?
If I decide to be on a job and it requires me to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, when I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I know why I'm there.
Yeah,
and I'm totally fine because I made that decision. And, you know, so whatever you have to go through on behalf of the character and stuff, I'm comfortable with, you know, because I simply know why I'm here. You know, I've made the decision based on doing this character because it's got under my skin.
You've been in a few very notable comic book movies, if not Wolverine, in recent years. I spoke to you a few years back, and I'm going to reiterate what I said to you then. The opening sequence in Man of Steel is one of the great mic drop great sequences for me. It's like, oh, Russell Crowe is riding a dragon. I am so in for whatever this is going to be. Take me with you, Zack Snyder. I guess just tell me, like, did you respond to that immediately, and why the hell didn't we get more of it? I mean, I think if that were made today, there is a Jor-El spinoff. There is an HBO Max series. Was there ever any talk of anything more with that character, or was it always one and done?
Yeah, but I think that, you know, those kind of conversations happen all the time. You know, once somebody has something like that going, and, you know, how else you can sort of make things out. I would have loved to have done like a Jor-El, story pre the Superman story, and you know, while him and the other character whose name I'm forgetting at the moment, you know, when they were friends, you know, and the build up of the political tension.
Zod, yeah, Michael Shannon. Oh my God, you guys together.
Shannon, yeah. So that would have been interesting, but, you know, it never eventuated, so that doesn't bother me at all. I found that script very heavy going, I have to say. You know, they did the big studio security thing with that, where they, you know, they flew somebody to Australia carrying the script, you know,
on red paper. They're watching you, the whole thing. Yeah,
one single, you know, copy. But, you know, I kept having to stop and go back and read it. So I kept that poor person hanging around my house for about 6 or 7 hours that day, because I kept going back and reading, you know, pages again to understand where I was. And, you know, to be completely honest, I'm not sure I fully understood it once I finished it either, you know. But what I did understand was what they wanted me to do, and which was play Superman's dad. And that was kind of, for me personally, you know, it was kind of stepping into the shoes of one of my greatest heroes.
Yeah, if it's good enough for Marlon Brando.
Well, still, I was old enough by then to actually accept something like that with a little sort of, you know, warmth or whatever, you know. So I did it for me. I did it for my own reasons. I did it it was my way of honoring, you know, one of the greatest actors that's ever existed, you know.